Hey guys and girls on Ask Japanese, it's your flashy fashion reporter, Kathy Cat. And today I'm gonna quiz you on some Japan trivia, so have fun enjoying these random facts about Japan, and if you learned something cool or new, be sure to guess with me in the comments down below while you're watching this video. Let's go! Next time when you come to Japan, be sure when you enter a bank to check for the tree. Yes, there's generally a tree in Japanese banks. Now why do you think they're there? Is it there for 1, the atmosphere? A beautiful tree in a beautiful bank, it's kind of posh. Maybe it is even a little bonsai tree to represent the Japanese culture of bonsai. Number 2, it's there for relaxation. You know that bankers, they have to work with a lot of money and they need to be very focused. So green is a color that reminds you of nature, and just having nature around is great for the focus. So the people who work at the bank, but also the customers who come in, feel a little bit more relaxed. Number 3, it's edible. Especially in emergency situations, this tree can serve as an extra food source. So for example, when there's an earthquake or similar, or for example, a bank robbery with some kidnapping that lasts for a long time, in that situation, the tree functions as an extra source of food. Alright, you might be able to tell that none of these answers is correct, but if you look at the picture, you see a man inside a bank and the tree right next to him. So, what do you think? Yes, it actually has something to do with bank robberies. Those trees in Japanese banks are 170 centimeters tall, and that is the average height of an average Japanese male person. So these trees are actually there to measure the height of the people that go in and out. So for example, if there is a bank robbery, that tree can tell the people how tall the person was who actually came into the bank. Was he taller than the average? Was he the exact average? Or was he maybe smaller than the average? The staff is able to tell by those trees that are around Japanese banks. So next time when you walk into a Japanese bank, be sure to watch out for them. I've seen a similar system in convenience stores, for example in the UK, where there's like a scale on the side of the door in different colors that lets people see how tall a person is that comes in or goes out of the convenience store. Now the tree in that case is a little bit more fancy, I think, at least in my opinion. Ah, すみません。はい、ちょっと質問があるんですけど、私は日本の銀行に例えば犯罪が起きたために木が置いてあるって聞いたんですけど、それ本当ですか？あるんですね。なるほどですね。で、それは人の身長を分かるためなんですかね。すごいですね。ありがとうございます。すみません。失礼します。Japan is very safe, and one of the reasons for that is that there are koban, police office boxes, all around cities. Now, if something goes wrong, what do Japanese police officers fight with? 1. Samurai swords. 2. Shuriken, ninja throwing stars. Or 3. Magnificent 7 revolvers. It is high noon. Ooh, wah, wah, wah. And they're standing in front of each other, facing each other across the desert with their revolvers. And yes, in fact, revolver is the right answer. Now, in Japan, carrying a gun is highly illegal unless you have a special hunting permit or you actually are a police officer. And in Japan, instead of using modern guns or taser guns, it seems like they're still using some very old equipment, like the Magnificent 7 revolver. But why in the world are they thinking that a revolver 7, like an Oscar revolver, is the weapon to fight crime? I mean, you need to reload those and you can only fire like 5 to 6 shots at a time. There are several reasons for that. One of them is that they're super easy to handle. So compared to modern machines, there's only one button. They're not that hard to handle. And that apparently also stops people from misfiring their guns. There's also a historical part. After the war, Japan had to reduce the amount of weapons that they have. So, and to become one of the safest countries in the world, they made weapons in the first place illegal. So the Japanese police gun is divided into 2 gun types. One is the new Nambu M60 that was made between 1960 and 1990, but still police officers use it. And the other is the M360J Sakura. Yes, like the cherry blossom, and that has been used since 2006. But why is a 1960s gun still being used? Because compared to other countries, Japan is relatively safe and there are not so many violent big crimes, which means those guns barely get any use out of it. And why buy a whole array of new guns when the old ones have barely been used? So that's one of the reasons why they're still using it. And reason number 3 is that there are also other ways to deal with criminals here in Japan. And you might already have guessed it, but Japan is a martial arts country, meaning you can actually, as a police officer, learn several types of martial arts and use those in order to battle crime. So for example, karate or such can be used to fight off the evil. There is things like jiu-jitsu or ninjutsu. There's also a jutsu, so a skill specifically for capturing criminals, and that's Taiho Jutsu. Taiho Jutsu is a martial art that teaches police officers how to arrest a criminal in the safest and best way possible. Hey, oh, I wish I knew how that worked.